G'day guys, Duckville here for game number 7 from the clan battle that was on the IPLTAC a few weeks ago. This is between dtG and Team NS Hosio. We've got our players starting out here on the left hand side on Sandshawn Mist AE. Is our new player from NS Hosio who has come out to fight against dtGMiso. It is NS Hosio Seal. And his opponent across on the other side in the blue is going to be dtGMiso, who has done a brilliant job in that previous game, coming back from what could have been a very quick defeat there. Unfortunately, was able to actually claw his way back at that ending part of the game. I thought that was in the bag for Hoon, but Hoon unfortunately just not able to keep his tanks up, and was then dropped on by Miso, who just cleaned up the tanks despite the mules repairing, and that was that. So we'll find out what what Seal is going to do here. Seal, of course, is a little bit more of the notable players from NS Hosio. He's a player with just fantastic creep spread. It is absolutely incredible what this guy has been doing with his creep spread in some of his games, especially his televised games. We've seen him spread creep on I think it was Belshire Beach. He actually almost covered the entire map, including his opponent's base. It was just actually that insane. And we'll find out if he's going to do something along those lines here. Now this map, of course, I have not a huge viewer of this map. Unfortunately, I haven't caught too many games, but there is a pretty easy to access third base here. Unfortunately for Seal, it actually has this this choke point across to the side, which means that if he wants to try and counteract any pushes from that side, he's going to need to be very careful with the way he does it. Miso has done as we said in that previous game, did a really good job with his fast command center build. We'll see if he's going to do something along those lines here. He does have the one racks up. We'll see if he is going to be able to push out with that. There is this little ledge here as well, which is a little bit of an interesting factor in this sort of play in the map. Sorry. You can actually sort of bring over some units, drop them in here, and then it's sort of a little bit of a secret unless the player inside the main actually has some buildings here to protect against that. But I think Miso may be going for a little bit of a bunker push here. He does find that the hatchery is there. He's going to find that that is up and running, and he's going to head back down the backside of the hatchery here. The drone coming back from Seal. He's going to try and see if he can pick off that SCV before it gets any sort of annoying stuff done. There is two Marines out, and there is the Space Shark. Two Marines that are out there. We'll see if they're going to come across and put some pressure on. The spawning pool is complete, and there are going to be a couple of lings out here for Seal, so he should be fine to defend against any sorts of pressure at the moment. But there is going to be a factory, probably just the standard sort of reactor Hellions, and there it is. So things just looking kind of standard at the moment here for Miso and Seal. Both of these guys just doing everything as the Emperor has foreseen it. Miso now is going to have to deal with a few lings in the middle of the map, of course, with some decent micro. 4 Marines should be fine to deal with that, not to mention the SCV tanking at the front. Seal probably not prepared for those units to be sitting there in the middle, and does lose one of the lings, and these guys are a little bit damaged now. Loses a second. Not really sure why he charged back into that group, but probably just to check if they were still attacking, and he is going to see that he's going to have to deal with a little bit of a push here. There is a queen out. A spine crawler has been started. A couple more lings on the way. This is good for Miso. This is what he wants to do. Wants to force some lings instead of drones. You don't want to let that Zerg just drone up freely. Of course, it's not a good way to start off the game there. No speed just yet from Seal. He's probably going to start that right about now, given that he does have the gas available for that. Start it. There we go. Good job. All right. Miso with a little bit of a problem at the front door. These lings just poking at the supply depot there, but he is going to be able to clean them up quite easily with those 2 Hellions. They're going to push them back, and he's going to be all safe and sound for now. Did the lings see the command center? I think they would have. Yeah, they did. So command center, unfortunately, just slightly in range of where the lings were. So he did actually see that this is a very standard sort of reactor expand here from Miso. Nothing crazy like some sort of reacted Hellion, like mass reacted Hellions, or Hellions with Marauders or anything like that, so he should be fine for the moment. And it looks as if if Seal is actually going to build up a nice little wall here. He's actually walled off this side with the hatchery. We've got the spine crawler and then a queen or two, able to easily fix up the rest of that wall there, and starting to spread out some of these units quite nicely to get some good vision here. So things looking pretty decent here for Seal. He hasn't had any sort of complications with defending against this this Terran pressure that's here. You'll probably be wondering why Miso is just sitting out here with these Hellions. He's wanting to just make sure that the creep tumors don't get out too far. You don't want to let the Zerg just easily get those tumors out and it gets some, obviously, the vision that they provide, not to mention the creep spread, which of course immensely helps a lot of those Zerg units. Of course, it makes the Lings just fly around the map like they've taken 6 Red Bull, and of course it helps the Hydras turn from old dudes with walking sticks into pretty decent runners. So he's just wanting to make sure that that is all protected for the time being, and that the creep doesn't spread out too far. Normally what you'd see from a Zerg when they want to push a little bit further out is the spine crawler will start moving down. Normally there's a second one, and there it is. So once the spine crawler completes, we'll probably see this dude hop up out of the ground and move down to the bottom there. Regardless of how many Hellions are there, they will never be able to take out a spine crawler ever, just because they do like no damage to the spine crawlers. But here we are, the Hellions having a little dance party here, just making sure that those tumors don't spread out any further. You can see that there is a little bit of spread already starting over here, which means that there is a tumor on this side. Back at the bases, we've got the lair started here for Seal, so he's going to try and get his tech up pretty quickly. Obviously wants to make sure that he is able to deal with any impending attacks from the Terran. Back at Miso's base, he's just walling up. He's getting that economy going. We're sitting at a very nice total of 43 SCVs. Seal, meanwhile, is sitting on 52 drones at the moment with that Baneling nest complete, so he will be able to defend against any possible any sort of marine-based pushes that may come along. Miso has not really had a Rax explosion just yet, but he does have 4 now. He's got the engineering bay as well, so he's going to be going for double upgrades here. +1 to weapons has already started, and no doubt +1 to armor will be starting there soon as well. And he actually has a very quick 3rd command center as well, so that's why he's doing quite well with his SCVs. Meanwhile, the Hellions try and make short work of these Lings. They should be fine in defending against those Lings, and then there was a drop coming by as well. We can see that there are 2 medevacs there with just full up on those Marines. And now Marines having to defend at the front door there for Miso. He's got a couple more racks on the way as well. He's probably looking to drop in towards that 3rd here while the Hellions are harassing at the front, and they may be caught out by a little bit of a sandwich there. Everyone loves a sandwich, especially when there's bacon, and that includes the dudes in the Hellions. So attacking into the 3rd here is Miso. He does have a lot of Marines here. Here come the Banelings though. If he's beautiful targeting down there by Miso, takes care of the Banelings before they even get in range, and is then evacuating with those medevacs, and in fact not dropping in the best spot here, not watching at all, and loses almost all of those Marines for just about nothing. So that was not the best way to proceed with that drop. But while this has been going on, as we said, a couple of extra racks coming up for Miso. He's going to make sure that he has some good production capabilities. He's got +1 to weapons just about done, +1 to armor also coming through as well. So he's going to be sitting in a good spot with that big Marine combo, and we'll see if he's going to stick with that and try and do some harassment, if he's going to do it a little bit more MMA style and do all sorts of drops around the map, or if he's just going to try and go for that big sort of one-punch push, which we do see from Terrans quite a lot. Now, some Banelings just coming in here. They do have burrow, and they're burrowing in a very nice position, so he may be just making sure he's got some traps set up, and a couple more Banelings about to pop into position here as well. It looks as if a couple more are just rolling up, and I mean that literally. And now mutas are also on the way. So Seal switching into very standard sorts of play here. We've got these Marines now pushing out. Will they be caught by the Baneling landmine? No, they won't. Just traversing to the side, although then he does come across, and then is he going to walk back over it? Seal not watching. Oh wow, Seal unfortunately is just not dealing with that Baneling landmine as he probably would have wanted to. Is he watching here? Will he get this big group? They are all standing over it. Seal please look at the minimap and have a look at what is sitting over the banelings here. Just a little bit to the left, and you will score every single Marine there. We're going to watch this, guys. There it is. Does get a big kill there. Gets a decent amount of those Marines. Not perhaps as much as he would have wanted to initially, but does get a decent amount of them, and then takes a big chunk out of that army. So that's quite nice for Seal there. The Mutas not in a huge group just at the moment. They're just sitting at a total of 10. There are no extras on the way, so he may be looking to do a very heavy Ling presence on the ground. Just looking at how many tanks are out for me, so he's got 3 at the moment. That's not a massive tank count. He's got a 4th one which has just popped out. We do have 2 factories. I do like the double factory. You do need to try and get those tanks out when you are dealing with a lot of these Banes. And here come the Mutas trying to harass, picking off a tank. Very nice stuff from Seal there. He's currently sitting at 180 supply, so he's starting to hit that max, probably looking to take a 4th base very soon. He's spreading his creep out quite nicely as well, as we can see, just spreading that across to this side section here, and if he can extend it a little bit further, he'll be able to make sure that this 4th base is covered as well. But here comes a push from Miso. He's starting to move out. We've got a big total of units here. We've got 57, 59 Marines, a few more popping out at a time, 6 tanks in this big group that's now pushing down towards the side. And he should be able to get a decent push going through into this 3rd base, but Seal is not having any of that. He's just going to push through. He's not afraid of what's here for Miso, sending in some of the links into the 3rd base, and then the rest now coming inside the main. I think Seal is just going to be able to win this just straight up with a massive, just a straight counter to what Miso is doing here. Miso takes a 3rd, that's all well and good, but there are Mutas which should be able to take out these flying command centers, which is no doubt the plan from Miso. He should be able to roll inside the base, and he does indeed. The Banelings busting down the door. Now the Marines trying to get as much damage as they can. They need to be very, very careful of Baneling landmines. There is one group of Banelings here, and they may be able to catch out these Marines if they try and push up. Here he goes. Seal well prepared, and bang! That is the game right there. Miso just not prepared for that big hit, and gets taken down by Seal, which is, of course, nothing to be ashamed of. Seal, a very impressive Zerg. So the scores are now 4-3. 4-3. We've got dtG in the lead, so we're going to go into game number 8. Can NS Hosio come back and bring it to a game number 9? They will need to if they want to take this set, or in the next match, will dtG be able to take down Seal and claim the victory in this clan war? We'll see you guys in that next one.